Let's talk about something that nobody wants to admit. There are people right now with 10,000, 50,000, even 100,000 followers, and they're still not closing deals in real estate. Meanwhile, there are agents out there with barely any social media presence, and they're constantly closing. So, what's really going on? Well, we're living in a time where people are just absolutely drowning in information. There's so much scrolling going on, watching and consuming social media, but not actually taking action. Social media has created this illusion that likes equal success, views equal credibility, and followers equal authority. But none of those things pay your bills. Closings do, relationships do, and trust does. Now, don't get me wrong, social media does work to a point. It's powerful. In 2026, it has become very fragile because the moment you stop feeding the algorithm, it stops feeding you back. The reach drops, the engagement drops, and visibility drops. And now you're working for the algorithm instead of the algorithm working for you. That's exhausting. And here's something else. With AI and technology today, it's easier than ever for someone to look like an expert without actually being one. They got clean edits, they got sharp videos, and perfect delivery, but no real experience. And people are starting to feel that. They're asking, who's real? Who actually knows what they're doing? Well, let me share something real with you. I personally connected with several content creators in real estate. And I've talked to these people with over 10,000 plus followers, thousands of likes and comments. And most of them aren't closing deals, if any at all. And at the same time, just this year, I've actually worked with 3 clients who didn't even follow me. Yeah, they did see me on social media, but they never liked a post. They never left a comment. They never even left a review, even after I asked. But we still closed successfully. Why? Because they saw something I said, something educational, something that spoke directly to them. And here's the key. It didn't come from an algorithm. It came from a real person who shared my content with them. They seen me. It started to create trust. Then that created the connection. It created the opportunity. And now we have real relationships with those clients. See, the kind that lasts a lifetime. So let me be very clear about something. Referrals are the golden goose egg of this business. It's the heartbeat of what we do. And when you work with a client you generally enjoy working with, you tell them, I want to work with more people just like you. You let them know where to find you. You stay connected. You build real relationships and you provide in-person consultations. You show up and you serve. We're there for the community because people don't refer you based on your follower count. They refer you based on your experience with them. And let me add something else to this, because this is where a lot of people are getting it wrong every day. Put the phone down, please. Seriously, just for a while. Put the phone down and go out and connect with people in real life. Go sit down with your clients. Get to know them, have a cup of coffee, have a lunch, and real conversations. That is golden because that's where real relationship actually begins. Social media can create visibility, sure, but the relationship is built in person. Now, let me be very clear about this. There is no replacement for you as a professional. None whatsoever. And remember that you're valuable. There's no video, there's no post, and no automation created to replace a real face-to-face connection. In fact, when you get the urge to go scrolling on TikTok, stop, go meet someone. And I'm going to take this even a step further because this is where real professionals separate themselves from everyone else. If you have systems in place, like maybe, for example, pop-bys or client check-ins, relationship building activities should always be you, never delegated, ever. Not to some type of service that's available, not to an assistant, and not even to someone on your team. Because the moment you remove yourself from the relationship, you start removing the value. I've seen this over and over again happen over the years. Agents start to begin to grow, they do well, then they get busy because they've grown and they want to scale some more, but in the process, they sacrifice quality for value. And yes, can those systems still work? Absolutely, but not at the highest level. You're not giving A plus service. If you're someone like me and you believe in delivering the highest standard that's available, a white glove experience, then you understand this. In-person connection is not optional. It's your responsibility, because this business is not built on convenience, it's built on real relationships, and relationships are built face to face. And this is what most people get wrong. 80% of your business should come from referrals and relationships, and 20% should be supported by social media, not the other way around. Because if 100% of your business depends on social media, ouch, you will most likely produce less, feel more pressure, and have lower quality client experiences compared to someone who's built on the referral system. Here's the shift that is happening right now. People are not impressed by perfection anymore. They want authenticity, clarity, and confidence. Real results. They don't want to be sold, they want to be understood. There are two ways to build business. There's one is chasing attention, and the other is attracting with intention. Now, most people are chasing attention. Most people are chasing for attention, trying to interrupt people, trying to go viral, trying to stay relevant and feed that refreshes every 1 or 2 seconds. But you're feeding that feed, but the real opportunity is attracting people who are already looking for you. When someone is scrolling, they get distracted. But then when someone is searching, they're very intentional. That's why platforms like this one, YouTube, Google, blogs, other things like that are so powerful, because people are finding you, not being interrupted by you. So yes, social media has its place, but it builds awareness, it builds familiarity. But it should support your business, not be your business, because this game is not about being seen, it's about being chosen. So let me ask you something very important here. Are you building a business based on attention or based on trust? Because if you're serious about buying or selling and you want strategy, not noise, if you want someone who understands the market and actually shows up in performance day in and day out, let's connect. I offer real conversation, real consultations, and real results. And at the end of the day, the loudest person doesn't win. The most trusted one does. And before we wrap it up, I want to start by saying something new on this podcast today. In every episode, I'm going to give a shout out to a local food spot or something that's a staple in the community. And this time, I want to take it all the way to New York. Yep, we're going to go out to Brooklyn, New York today, and we're going to talk about some place that I've been. I want to recognize the legendary pizza spots. If you go to New York, you got to have the pizza. Grimaldi's Pizza and next door, Giuliani. That's right, they're right next door to each other, and they're both part of American history. So first of all, some of the best pizza that you will ever have in your life. So let's make that clear. But beyond that, the story behind these two pizzerias, their history, the connection, and what people call the pizza wars between them both, you have to do the research. Please check it out. And it's really fascinating that both these places are so special and right next door. So if you ever find yourself in New York, make your way to Brooklyn, because hey, when it comes to pizza, they got it. You can't go wrong either way. They're different, but they're both great. So this is Breaking Bread with your broker, where real conversations are served fresh. Vámonos.